Got my DTV Visa, which allows me to stay in Thailand for 5 years, 6 months at a time, and here's how you can get your visa approved too. I'm a Singaporean self-employed graphics designer and my job can be done remotely. So I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to try living in Chiang long term, which is something I've always thought about for 3 years now. There are 2 ways to apply, one as a remote worker and 2 under the soft power route, which is what I did. And I get asked this question a lot. Why not apply as a remote worker if you already have a remote job? Well, I'm a freelance graphics designer and I don't have a business registration number. I do pay taxes, but I wasn't sure if that'd be enough for the embassy to approve me. I'm absolutely not gonna waste $500. So to avoid any risk of rejection, I chose the soft power route by signing up to a Muay Thai school instead. Also, I think it's a good way for me to pick up a new skill and get active. Is one of the most crucial steps in my visa application process. Despite being Singaporean and being in Singapore, I did not submit my visa application there. Why? Because the review process is much harder and it's way easier and faster in Vietnam. So I booked my flight and accommodation to Da Nang in Vietnam for 21 days and submitted it through the Thai embassy in Vietnam. I also took this chance to explore Da Nang and Hoi An, which are also very popular digital nomad destinations. And after 12 working days, my visa was finally approved. I got an email with a PDF attachment for my visa, and that was it. Now, let's run through the visa application process together step by step. So you want to go to the Thai e-Visa official website. Make sure you have the link correct because there's a lot of third-party websites. Create an account. Okay, just fill in all this information. Apply for a new visa. So over here, of course, put in your country, for me Singapore, and your current location. So I was in Vietnam at the time, so I'm gonna put Vietnam. This is very important. So depending on which airport you fly to in Vietnam, so there's Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. Okay, so whatever cities over here that are under Hanoi, just make sure you select Hanoi. And then because I was in Da Nang, let me see, where is that? Okay, so I flew in from Da Nang airport, right? So it's under the Ho Chi Minh Thai consulate. So I'm gonna pick apply at Ho Chi Minh over here, even though I didn't go to Ho Chi Minh. So travel document type is a passport, visa type DTV. Okay, purpose of visit. So depending on what type of DTV you're gonna go for, you just select it. I'm just gonna go for Thai soft power over here, and then multiple entries, and then you click next. Then you're gonna want to upload your passport photo. Okay, you can see the samples over here. Yep, so I used my iPhone to take my passport picture, and it worked out well. And if the picture doesn't make the cut, they would give you a warning. So it's very high-tech. These are all your own details. Okay, but I want to highlight this part. Most Singaporeans have a Chinese name and an English name and a family name. It has to reflect exactly as per your passport. So if your name jumbles up, right, and it's like not according to your passport, you will definitely get rejected. For example, if your name is Tan Xiao Mei Amy, right? So Tan is your family name, and then you would think to put Xiao Mei, which is your Chinese name, in the middle, and then Amy, but no, that is wrong. So what happened for me, okay, was that I put Xiao Mei, my Chinese name, and then the English name here, and I left the middle name blank. It's the way they generated the name sequence thing, where the family name will come first, and then it's your first name and then your middle name, which wouldn't display as per your passport, which says Tan Xiao Mei Amy. So depending on how your passport name is written, just know that the family name will show up first, later, and then it'll be your first name and then your middle names. Yeah, it's very, very important. A lot of people get rejected because of this. $500 just gone like that. What I want to highlight the most is this one. Okay, so a lot of people get very confused over here, because if, okay, let's say I'm in Singapore, right? This is my Singapore address. Okay, good. Singapore. Is your permanent address same as your current address? The answer is no, because why? I'm in Vietnam, and chances are after watching this video, you will be influenced to go to Vietnam to apply for your visa as well. So home address is your Vietnam hotel booking address. Okay, country, Vietnam. Okay, and then whatever city you're in. Okay, Yeah, so this is very important. Home address is your registered address, and then your wherever you are at right now submitting this visa application. Okay, it could be Bali, it could be wherever you are. Okay, just giving Vietnam as example. And then employment details. I selected freelance, and then you select how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much money you make. From what I understand, there is no minimum income to make to get the visa. I've seen Facebook posts about people making like 3 digits a month and they still get their visa approved. And if you select no income, right, they will highly likely reject your application because you need to be employed. You need to show that you have money coming in into your bank as a salary. So intended date of arrival, just put any date, but please take note that you should not apply the visa more than 3 months before the date of intended arrival. So let's say now it's June. Let's say we want to come in July, so 1st July. And then intended date of departure, as long as your stay doesn't exceed your first 180 days. They're not going to ask for a return ticket or for you to book any flight. It just put it something that shows that you will not overstay your 180 days. Okay, so that would be I came from Singapore and air. Oh, okay. Oh wait, yeah, they just changed the layout, so it's a commercial flight, and then I just put in the flight number like ST12345. Then yes, no. Accommodation in Thailand. Okay, so this is also another part where a lot of people get confused. So it doesn't matter what you pick. So you can put in a hotel name, or you can put a private property, which means that your rental houses. So what I like to do is I like to put random condo names. Okay, condos in Chiang. Okay, so these are some popular condos in Chiang Mai, like the Nimana, whatever, right? So let's say I'm just gonna put the Nimana. Okay, just copy the address, because at this point you probably don't have a place to rent yet because your visa hasn't been approved. But if you already have your own apartment, then good for you. Just put in the number, okay, of whatever you want to, of whatever you're planning to stay. Yeah, so duration of stays can just follow the 72 days. Okay, then no additional accommodations, so we click next. Oh wait, this is in Sutat. Postal code is 50200. Okay, now this is the last page, so just make sure you check your 2 documents here, okay, by clicking this icon. And then now you want to submit a document indicating your current location. So picture of the page where it has the Vietnam immigration stamp on it. Okay, just a clear photo of it would do. Okay. And then the second one is the return flight confirmation booking. The third thing is take a picture of your boarding pass ticket. The last thing you should include is your Airbnb or hotel booking confirmation that shows the duration of your stay. One is your financial evidence. So for example, if you're like me, you have different bank accounts with money spread across, and I mean cash, yeah, not investments or like stocks, whatever. What I'm going to do is download 6 months. Oh wait, they changed it to 3 months. Okay, that's great. For me, it was 6 months. I figured it would be much more easier for me to do it on Illustrator to demonstrate to you guys. So for example, this is Bank 1 HSBC and Bank 2 OCBC. And let's say that Bank 1 of HSBC, my total is SGD 10,000. Okay, that's an example. Okay, and then OCBC has 50,000. Okay, so this one is for the month of January 2025, for example. Okay, and this is also for January 2025 as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'll put 2 bank statements together side by side, and then I will annotate it like this. Okay, and then put 60,000 SGD, and then I'm gonna convert 60,000 SGD equals to how much Thai baht. So let's see how much is 60 SGD. it's 1 million plus. Okay, so I'm gonna put this. So it's that simple. I mean, of course, make it presentable, but mine was sort of just like this. Okay, and then I will repeat it for the other 3 months because they asked for 3 bank statement, right? So this would be February and March. Okay, so like that. Okay. I forgot to mention, I also clearly indicated the name of this bank. For example, this is a HSBC, I don't know, like current accounts, and it's like 1 2 3. Put your account number here. Okay, so this was what I did, and then this one is OCBC, right? Okay, and then I will say put, I also titled January 24 statement for 2 bank accounts under Dan Xiaomi Amy. I have to state my name is there as well. Okay, put it in bold like this, and then I indicated that this has $10,000, and I also indicated that this is $50,000, and yeah, and then I made a red underline here, okay, to emphasize that this exceeded their minimum requirement. So yes, so make sure all 3 bank statements follow the same format, but of course, like, change your bank statements. I will save this as a PDF file, okay, and title it as 3 months bank statement. So to prove that I have income, this would be another PDF file that's called proof of income, detailing the proof of my incomes. Okay, so the first page is a cover letter, so it's literally just a cover letter. I cannot show you the cover letter for privacy reasons, but basically I detailed that I'm a self-employed graphics designer from Singapore, and I specialize in branding and digital marketing with a strong online presence and an established remote work portfolio. Then I emphasize that I promote my design services using platforms that are outside of Thailand. Okay, this is very important because you're not allowed to get a job in Thailand. You should not be working for any Thai-based company whatsoever. And ask ChatGPT to write you the cover letter. That's what I did. So for the second page, I showed 6 months of income, but I think now you only need to show 3 months because they updated the website. So basically what I did was I took a screenshot of that month's transaction history. So let's say, again, this is January 2025 income, okay? So I'll put this as that, okay? The bank transactions from HSBC account 1 2 3 4 5, okay, your account number with support with invoices to support the transactions. Okay, that's what I did, and then this one can be smaller, of course. You can unbold this as well. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is a screenshot of my client's invoice. Okay, what I did is I highlighted it in red. Okay, and then of course the amount must match over here, and then I'll just point it like that, and then we'll go on to the next invoice. Let's say it's this one. It doesn't have to be invoice, it can be your salary that's like deposited into your bank account. So yeah, just make it very clear and easy for them to read. So I repeated this 6 times to show that I am having income consistently into my bank account every month. The next page, I did a screenshot of my website, so to prove that I have a professional portfolio, which is this one. The projects categorized, that's just what I did. Okay, and then I labeled it designs.com. Okay, for them to know, like, you know, if they want to check it out, they can just go to the link over here. And I also included like places where I advertise my services. For example, Fiverr. I'm just gonna take someone else's account because I don't use Fiverr, and then I put this, and then I put promoting my services to international clients. Fiverr is what, I don't know, an American based company, American based freelance service company, something like that. Just detailing that the main point is just to just say that, okay, I'm not gonna work in Thailand, I'm just gonna work however I've been used to doing it, and my clients will not be from Thailand, and I will not be taking the jobs of the Thai people. So basically try to emphasize that as much as possible. So I have a design service deck that I give to my clients, so whatever information you can give, it's gonna be very helpful for you. Okay, and then I also included my works Instagram account. Okay, so over here, and I also included client testimonials for all my work with the work attached, which I will not be able to show you due to privacy reasons. So basically, once you have everything, save it as a PDF and title it as proof of income. So the last one is very easy. So this would be sent from your school or the hospitals if you're here for medical treatment, etc. So they will give you all the whole package of items for you to submit. For example, so my Muay Thai school gave me a compressed PDF file. So it included the business registration and confirmation of me attending their Muay Thai gym. And yeah, of course I paid the money, so there's the receipt as well. I paid the school fee first. They won't refund you if your visa gets rejected. Just make sure that your school provides all those information, and then you want to click done.
So I've got all my documents uploaded, and I'm going to submit them. Wish me luck. So now that I've submitted, I'll just click the proceed to payment button. Yay, so I've submitted and it says processing pending document check.
And that's about it. Once I got my visa approved, I flew back to Chiang Mai, handed the PDF printout to the immigration, and I got my DTV entry stamp. I went for house hunting and I found my new apartment and signed the lease, which I'll share more tips about on my next video. I wish you all the best on your visa application process, and if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. Bye!